So when the Beatles hit the scene, there were two things that really impressed the masses. The music, of course, and the mop top or pudding bowl haircuts. We'd never seen either one before. So when the boys were in Germany, they were sporting the DA duck's ass or quiff haircuts, the greaser type hair that was popular at the time. They became close with some existentialists, or Egsies as they called them, Jürgen Vollmer, Astrid Kirchherr, and Klaus Voormann. Vollmer and Astrid's photography were important to the Beatles' image, not only then, but all through the years. Voormann is a painter and musician. He worked with various groups over the years, including on the Beatles' solo efforts. As a painter, he designed the Revolver album cover and won a Grammy for it. The Egsies were a talented bunch. Stu Sutcliffe and Astrid fell in love, and they were spending a lot of time together. There was one night when his hair was falling out of his quiff and sticking out all over, and Astrid convinced him to let her cut it in the style that the French boys were wearing at the time. He showed up at the club that night, and the boys taunted him mercilessly. Nevertheless, the next night he showed up, and, surprise, George had it too. Shortly after, John and Paul visited Paris, where their old Eggsy friend Jürgen Vollmer was staying. And once John saw Jürgen's haircut, he convinced them to give him and Paul their first Beatle haircuts as well. Paul always called the haircut the Jürgen, not the mop top. By the way, in Scandinavia it's called the Hamlet, and in Germany, the mushroom. Now you'll hear conflicting stories on how this happened, including from the boys themselves, which is not uncommon for Beatles lore. The most common thing you'll hear is that George got his haircut after John and Paul returned from Paris. I happen to like this version because George just went ahead and did something before the other guys did. You go, George. Now when Pete was out and Ringo was in, he didn't yet have enough hair to really make it work. But after a few weeks of growth, all was in place, and the mop tops were born.